how is it going? Oh my gosh, there's so much that I have to share with you. I had to just push record. I plan on sharing with you my little yarn haul that I got from Hobby Lobby yesterday when I went to check out that big massive sale that was going on. Turns out that it appeared to be more of one of their seasonal sales where, you know, everything old must go at these crazy ridiculous prices that you just have a hard time saying no to. So I got a couple things. I purposely waited to the last second to go scope it out so that way other people had a chance to raid the aisles before I went through and raided the aisles. So I'm going to share that with you, and then after that I have a happy mail that I'm super excited to share. Mary, I got it. I can't wait to open it. I haven't even opened it to take a peek yet, so going to be doing the whole reveal here in the vlog. And then I have an antique, super old Crochet Magazine that my mom found and gave to me. And it's amazing how there's some things that she'll give me and I'm like, indifferent to. I'm like, okay, that's cool, thank you. And then other things she'll find that she doesn't think anything of, and I'm geeking out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So it's really funny, the hit or miss that happens with that. And then after that, we're going to talk about campaigns that are happening and going to be happening, and then kind of wrap it up from there and what tutorials that I'm going to be shooting today and what I have coming very, very soon. So, starting with the good stuff, the yarn haul from Hobby Lobby. So again, I was seeing a lot of people going to Hobby Lobby and a lot of talk about Hobby Lobby changing their whole yarn section and clearancing a bunch of stuff out. I did not anticipate going to Hobby Lobby yesterday and seeing the entire department completely rearranged. That threw me off. As I know from other videos I've seen on YouTube, it's thrown a lot of people off actually. But once I saw what they did, I'm like, okay, I can get used to this. Yes, their yarn department has shrunk, which made me worried. I had to find my temperature blanket yarn. I was like, oh gosh, where's my temperature blanket yarn? It better still be here, and it is. It's still there. It wasn't clearanced out. It is still an evergreen yarn, which I was hoping it would continue to stay an evergreen yarn. The yarn I got from Hobby Lobby for my temperature blanket, it has been around for 3+ years. I've used it. I used it 3 years ago, so I'm like, okay, if it's been around for 3 years, I'm hoping it's an evergreen yarn and sticking around for a while, and it's still here to stay. So I'm like, thank goodness. So I do have a hard time buying clearance yarn. We've talked about this, right? Where I don't want to buy yarn and then it be a yarn that I can't use in a video, because it's not fair to the viewer watching my video when I'm like, look at this awesome project that I made. Oh, by the way, you can't buy the yarn anymore. That sucks. That's no fun. And so I don't like to do that. So when I buy yarn on clearance like this, I know that it's going to be intended for donations or for personal projects, and I don't want to buy or go all out on yarn that I'm gonna stock up on. I barely have time to get through my whips as it is, you know what I mean? So I tried to go light. I'm gonna start with this bag right here. It's just so hard to say no to this yarn too when it's so cheap. So everything in here is all that Lily Sugar and Cream scrubby yarn. So it's all the yarn that is like half of the regular sugar and cream cotton yarn that we would expect to make pot holders and washcloths and placemats and coasters and all those things that we're used to. And then the other half is that actual scrubby material, and I'll make sure I get a really good B-roll of this so that way I can show it on the screen so you can get a better idea of what I'm looking at. But this yarn was originally $4.99. There's a sticker, it says $4.99. It was on sale for $1.24. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So again, before I bought it, I was like, what can I make with this? And looking at the colors, I was like, you know what? There's two purposes that I could definitely see doing with this. One is making soap sacks, because how cool when you're using a bar of soap in a sack. It has this kind of exfoliating scratchy scrubby material, which I don't think works on dishes very well at all. I mean, honestly, using this, I feel like it's kind of not the best, I'm gonna just say garbage when it comes to like thinking it's going to clean my dishes. It's not. I definitely prefer using the actual nylon, not nylon, starts with an R. It's not tulle. Like I said tulle before in the video when I made my scrubbies, but it's actually bigger than tulle and a little bit rougher. But anyways, it's that kind of material that is really durable. I love using that. I make my own scrubbies and I use them all the time. But this I wouldn't use as a scrubby, but I would use it in the bath, in the shower, as an exfoliator with a bar of soap and just kind of like, yeah, I think it'd be amazing. So using it both as a soap sack, and I think I might even continue making or adding to my spa line using this yarn and doing some other fun things with it, because I think this just feels like it'd be really nice on your skin. I got the colors Bubble White. Oh, I love that. So I've got Bubble White, got quite a few of those. This one is more gray tones, and it is called Deep Gray. Makes sense. It's all like different shades of gray. This, the Bubble White has shades of light gray, white, like a cream, and I'm gonna say like a teal, seafoam blue in there. Then I got a Christmassy looking one that's called Holly Jolly. So I might make some Christmas presents early ahead of time with this guy for some fun bathroom. You know how I said in the last year when I was talking about Christmas ideas, presents ideas, and spa collection is a great idea for people you don't know, and like, here, have some fun spa items, maybe some soap sacks, maybe some what are they called, loofahs. Ooh, make a loofah, that'd be fun. All Christmassy. This one right here is gorgeous. It's all these deeper blues, really pretty blues and creams, and it's called Denim, and I think those are the 4 I got. So I got a couple. I basically cleaned out the shelf with that. I figured, so yesterday was Thursday, it was the whole department was pretty well picked through. I was feeling pretty good about that, like, okay, I can feel free to come in and really clean out whole shelves. People have gone through this, they've picked what they wanted. Anything that I want now, I'm just gonna get everything of that color so I know I have enough to actually make a project. So I just cleaned these out, and it's not like I cleaned out a whole bunch. Not a lot, but that's good. But like I said, I'm okay with that because I know that's gonna end up being a personal project, not a tutorial. Now when it comes over here, these ones I was surprised to find. Again, slim pickings for the options, but I was like, wow, that was left over? Okay, cool. So Sugar Wheel Cotton Solids. You guys know how I feel about Sugar Wheel Cotton at Hobby Lobby. I've already made 2 blankets with this stuff because it's just, the colors are stunning. And this color is like a mauve. What color are you? You're nutmeg. It's gorgeous. There's 3 of them. There's only 3 left. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. That's absolutely enough to make something substantial, whether it be a wearable or, I mean, there's so many things it could be, but I just thought that color was gorgeous. I love, 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 love. It's originally $5.99 per cake. That's the name of the shape, per cake. But it was down to $1.74, and I'm like, ugh, I can't say no to you. And this is 100% cotton yarn, a size 3 weight. So yeah, I'm excited to make something with that. And if I have to, if I don't keep it, which I'm gonna try to keep that. That's so pretty, so pretty. Then it easily a donatable yarn, because the yarn being cotton. Warm Up America will 100% love taking that. Now this is the same yarn, Sugar Wheel Cotton Solids, in the color Tangerine. So I thought it was funny because these are very fall colors. Maybe that's why they were clearing them off the shelf. We've had them for a while. Let's clean it off. but super pretty. But there's just one left of this, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. I can figure out something to do with you. And then I'm actually gonna use the back of my couch. The point of me sitting here was to use the back here as a ledge. There we go. Cool. This yarn right here, I always think this yarn is so pretty, but it's a size 1, and I don't often play with size 1 yarn. So thin, so thin. But the colors were so pretty. It's this beautiful dark blue with that blends into a cream, to a green, to a yellow, to a gray. There's 2 of them that were left on the shelf. So pretty. Absolutely love the colors so much. And I'm like, I'm curious what I will make with this. There's so much yarn. This is Yarn Bee Rainbow Rhapsody. Originally $8.99 per cake, down to $2.49 per cake. I was like, score. Hobby Lobby has such incredible deals. When they're ready to clearance out, man, be ready. This yarn, there is 918 yards of yarn, or 839 meters of yarn. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much, but it's so thin, so it'll probably work up. I mean, the amount of coverage, the amount of surface area I'm going to be able to get out of this yarn, we'll see. I haven't played with this yarn yet. The name of this yarn is called Lookin' Fresh. How playful, how fun. And it is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. But gorgeous. I don't know what I'll make with you, but I couldn't pass you up. So there's that. And then, so it's just these 2. These 2 yarns were definitely something where I was like, you're pretty, I can make you as a gift for somebody. So this yarn right here, I got 3 of them. And you never know, if I just can't find a purpose for this yarn, it might just end up in a giveaway. But this yarn is Cozy with a Twist, the color Toasted Baguette. I love that. Originally $6.99 per skein, down to $1.74. This yarn is a size 6 weight. There's approximately 66 yards, or 60.5 meters. It's 100% recycled polyester. So soft. It's ridiculously soft. Oh my gosh, I think I was going to make a pillow with this, because there's 3, definitely not enough to make a blanket, not at all. And when it's this kind of yarn, I wouldn't wear it as a wearable. I wouldn't wear it as a beanie. I would maybe gloves, but I think it might just be weird. And so what I was thinking, I was like, what would I do with you, pillow? This is definitely a huggable, cuddly, so soft pillow that I would just 100% love to cuddle up with. So that's what it's going to be, is a pillow. And when you have this type of yarn that's so soft, and it's so pretty in the color, you don't have to go complicated with the stitch at all. So you just stay very basic and let the yarn sing. let the yarn be the star. And last but not least was this yarn right here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I literally just grabbed everything they had on the shelf. So, and again, with all these yarns, I'll make sure I do a nice B-roll pan of the yarn, so that way you get a good idea of what it looks like. But I saw this yarn, it is a gorgeous, like, brown gray, and I just love this color palette so much. It'll work with my home. I can't wait to make, I'm gonna make pillows with this as well, maybe 2 bigger pillows as accent pillows, and I think it'll be stunning. And again, so soft. This yarn is a different soft than this yarn. This yarn feels more like a velvet kind of soft, but it's not velvet. This feels more like a teddy bear type soft. The yarn is Yarn Bee Fur the Love in the color dark brown. Originally, this yarn was $10.99 a skein. It's down to $2.74 a skein. I mean, you understand why I just had to wipe off that whole like section, right? And get every single one they had in this color. They had different colors that I left behind because they were pretty but there either weren't very many of that skein left, or I just didn't know what I would do with it. I'd basically be buying it to buy it, and I promised myself that I wouldn't do that. So unless I had a vision and a purpose for the yarn, I wasn't going to buy it, except for, like I said, this yarn right here that I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna make with you, but something. This is different. It was just too cheap, too beautiful to pass up. So that is what I bought from Hobby Lobby. And I guess I'll keep some of these out so that way as I'm talking, if you need some eye candy to look at, you can just look behind me. There we go. Awesome. All right, so yes, Hobby Lobby haul. I kept it light. There were so many people that I saw just with heaving carts on on social media. I saw people on YouTube that were just going crazy. I saw some personal photos that came over to me and I was like, oh my gosh. So if you were one of those people that managed to get a great yarn haul from Hobby Lobby, please tell me in the comment section below, like, yes, I got a huge yarn haul, and let me know some of your favorite finds that you were able to grab while you were there. Ah, so awesome. Okay, so the next thing I have up is my Happy Mail from Mary. And I knew this was coming, and I don't get a lot of Happy Mail at all. So I don't generally check my post box that often. Like, I'll go there whenever I have something to ship, and then I'll check it. But I don't get a lot of Happy Mail. So when people send me Happy Mail, they end up having to tell me, hey, I sent you a Happy Mail, go check your post box. And I'm like, okay, I'll go check my post box. And that is what Mary ended up doing. She's like, did you get it? I'm like, get what? She's like, go check your post box. So, I can't wait to see this. All right. Ooh. Smart having the cardboard there, Mary. Like, definitely don't want anything to be bent. Got your Ziploc. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, these look vintage. The colors, wow. So these right here, can I help you? These are hero hooks. Mary found some hero hooks and wondered if I'd be interested in them, because this is the type of hook, not hero, but this is the shape of hook that I love using the most. I know some people really love furls, other people really love Susan Bates. There's quite a few new crochet hooks out right now that I am not as familiar with their names, because they're always coming out with something new and something awesome, like the Prim hooks. And there's another one out right now that everyone's going crazy about. But I'm simple. I just like that streamline, flat, nothing to it crochet hook. The inline hooks I'm okay with. I will use an inline hook, but for me personally, I just like the regular claw at the top. Inline sometimes catches me because it is so good at catching the yarn and catching everything that I move so fast when I crochet that I end up catching everything and it can be a bit much for me. So I prefer kind of like that smoother claw, but I don't mind the inline, but these do not have inline. They're all hero. They look just like Boy. They look identical to Boy. I'm very curious if there is a connection between Boy and the Hero brand. And now I want to research the Hero brand and find out more about it. But the colors are really pretty. I don't know if this is because they're older and just that's wear and tear, or if they were originally created with kind of this powdered color. Let's see. There we go. If you can make out the powdered color in there. Either way, I am grateful to get more hooks, because I'm one of those people, when I work on a project, I will keep the crochet hook with the project unless I write it down. And I do have like a whole, my iPad, the notepad section in my iPad is full with just scribbles and notes and projects, and I've definitely used that pretty well. But unless I write out the project that I am using and say, okay, I used this crochet hook so I can be on track when I come back to the project, more often than not, I will keep the crochet hook with the project, and I'll keep everything with the project, like the materials, like everything that I'll need in a bag, in like a grocery sack or a craft bag that somebody has gifted to me. I have quite a few, and I'll just keep it all together so that way I know when I come to it I have everything that I need. Unfortunately, I've done that so many times now that I am running low on my commonly used crochet hooks, and I have a whole jar full of crochet hooks of the other varying sizes that I don't use as much. And I'm like, dang it, but so you just gave me some more crochet hooks to play with and help me out a little bit. So thank you so much, Mary. I think that's amazing. And I am excited to check out the history of the Hero brand and find out if they are connected with Boy et al. or not. All right, next up, I want to talk about this amazing old school vintage craft magazine. Learn How book. Look at this, and you can tell that it's older, got a little wear and tear there. I think my mom got this at a garage sale. And it says on here, C is for crocheting, K is for knitting, T is for tatting, E is for embroidery. Learn How book. Book number 170, price 10 cents. Oh, if I had a time machine. If I had a time machine and I could go back and I could get a bunch of these. These are amazing. I would love, 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 because you know me in books, and you know me in old books, crochet books particularly. I just have a thing. I have a soft spot. I would love to just collect. But, and to help you out, I'll do another B-roll of me kind of thumbing through the crochet section of these pages so you can get a better glimpse of what I'm showing you, and it's not so teeny tiny. But it starts with the crochet section, and I want to be careful with it. Hints on crochet, and it talks about threads, hooks, gauge, blocking, laundering, finishing, the how-tos, and then working with your left hand, right hand. Teaches you a little bit of how to do it. Had the single, double crochet, half double, slip stitch over here, increasing and decreasing. Then it has some projects like the round coin purse. I want to make this. I would love to make a project and share it with you. You know, keep these going. Keep a lot of these projects alive. Love it. They talk about fillet, treble. This fillet project here is really, really pretty. And it's really just, it's a cloth, it's a cloth mat that they just crochet filleted like the corner triangle edges of it. This one I thought was really, really pretty. So when you see a picture of this close up, can't wait for you to see that. It's all these circles. It looks like it's thread, super itty bitty, so intricate, detailed, so pretty. And then a purse. Okay, I died when I saw this, and I will be making this. It'll be like my, what do you call it, bucket list project. It's this bedspread. So when I show you the close-up of the bedspread here, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's so incredibly, it looks so complicated and it looks overwhelming, but then when you see how it's just basically this square that's been joined together, very much so like my crisscross poncho. It's done basically the same as the crisscross poncho. You'll see why it's something that I have to make. It's just so beautiful and so detailed, and it looks so complicated, but when you break it down to do, oh, it's just this square that they've joined over and over and over, you're like, okay, now I just need to make it to impress people. you know, pop the collar a little bit, be like, I did that. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, it looks so complicated. And you're like, it was so hard. I love that about crochet. It doesn't have to be complicated for it to look like a piece of art, and anyone can do it. So believe in yourself that you can make incredible, amazing things. They have this, I think it's called a calotte, though the T could be silent, so it could be a calot. I don't know, how do you pronounce that? C-A-L-O-T. Let me know, like in the comments below, like how, spell it out like it would be spoken. Because I've done that multiple times where I've pronounced something and it's like, that's not how you say it. But I see this hat and I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm gonna pass on that project. Then this color work blanket, oh my gosh. I just love, love, love seeing what people did, and then it goes to knitting. So that's it for the crochet section. But yeah, there's something about working old projects and bringing them back to life that just gets me. It just gets me right here where I'm like, yeah, let's keep it alive. Especially when all you have to do to update a project often is just change the colors. Sometimes a lot of these projects are so dated because of the colors they chose in the project. Or it could have been the yarn fiber, right? If we changed the yarn fiber, there's so many now. Back then it was very limited in what they had options for. Now there's so many options that we could play with, where we could just go make it wool, make it cotton. Oh gosh, we have other plant-based like bamboo now. There's so many options. It's so fun. It's so awesome. Okay, so I went over the magazine, went over the Happy Mail, went over the yarn haul. Next I want to talk about the Warm Up America shawls. So I want to make sure that I put a lot of light and keep reminding people that we do have this Warm Up America shawl campaign going on right now. At first, when I first announced it, it's like, yes, that's cool. And then, you know, more content comes out as we are staying fresh every week. And sometimes those big announcements, those big campaigns, those big things we have going on get forgotten about. So I want to make sure that I keep bringing to light the Warm Up America shawl campaign we have going on, so that way I can try to get as many shawls as possible donated to the Warm Up America Foundation, because they have a huge need for shawls right now. It's huge. They have like I think 2 or 3 different locations that have requested shawls from Warm Up America. So they have a need. There is a big need. And I know shawls are not the smallest project. It's not like we've been asked to make a bunch of their little rectangular sections, which you can still do, absolutely. They'll accept them all day, every day. But I know they asked for specific shawl, or they asked for shawls specifically. So what I did, because I'm going through all of my whips that I've started, these projects that I've begun, and I'm trying to clean them out so that way, you know, clean up my space, clean up my room. I found one. I found a shawl that I started, and it's because I had one skein of Bloom yarn left over from my Bloom blanket that I made a couple of years ago. I loved the Bloom blanket, and I just had one skein left over. And so I was like, well, what can I do with this last skein? Just one skein. And so I was like, I'm gonna make this project, and it could double, because it's so light. Everything about it is light. The yarn is very light and soft. The pattern is very airy. And here I'll show you kind of like this. It's very airy. I was like, okay, this can double. It can either be a shawl that you could wear, or you could scrunch it up and it could make a really pretty just kind of neck wrap / scarf, because it is so airy, so lacy. It would be a gorgeous just kind of neck wrap. And so I started it, but then you know how it goes. You start a project, and then you have another project, and then another project, and just kind of ended up sitting. I did keep the crochet hook with it though. I was so grateful. I was like, oh good, there's another one. There's another crochet hook. I need to finish a lot of these projects so I can get all my crochet hooks back. But The pattern I'm using is the Shell Trellis crochet pattern. I have not done a Technique Tuesday on this pattern yet. I have not done a tutorial on this at all yet. It's literally one of those I'm resurrecting. It's a project I am resurrecting. So as soon as it's done, which I still have probably a half a skein, it's looking pretty flat now. I think I have about a half a skein left. I'm going to basically use up this whole skein, just one skein wonder. I'm going to see how far I can get with this project, and then I'm going to call it. As soon as I'm done with it, then I will make the tutorial, and I'll show you guys how to make this shell trellis shawl that I'm making, and it's going to be so pretty. I won't have any more bloom yarn because I'm saying, I'm using up all my, this is the only one I had left. So I'll just end up doing the demo example in just a solid color, so that way you're able to focus on what I'm doing to make the stitch and not so much focus on the yarn itself. So that way you can take what I'm doing and apply it to whatever yarn you want, whatever project I guess you want to. So very excited about this. Also super excited about continuing to wheedle down my whips that I have. I need my space back. It'll clear up space, it'll clear off projects, it'll free up crochet hooks. It'll be win-win all the way around. I just gotta do it. It's time. Okay, last thing I'm gonna talk about. In April, we're going to be doing a campaign, another campaign. So we're going to go from March doing a shawl campaign with Warm Up America. In April, we're going to do an April Showers campaign with Soap Sacks. Soap Sacks is a brand new foundation that I have been introduced to, and I absolutely love them. I love their concept. I love the way it helps people. I love how simple it is to be a part of it. I love that you don't even have to ship anything if you don't want to. You have the choice if you'd like to ship your soap sack to the Sack Foundation in New Jersey, or you can just find a local food pantry, church, college. Literally, there is a place on their website, soapsacks.com, where you can input where you live, and it'll share with you all of the locations around you that you can take your soap sacks to personally. Now, if you ship your soap sacks to the Sack Foundation in New Jersey, you do not need to include any soap with your soap sack. If you are donating your soap sack locally, they do ask that you please put an unopened bar of soap with your crocheted soap sack, so that way they can donate it to the people that need it. The Sack Foundation gets a lot of bars of soap donated to them, whereas a lot of these other charitable foundations locally, they do not. So they can't do anything with your empty soap sack. You need to provide the soap with your soap sack, and preferably have that soap be unopened. So I'll get more into the details and everything about this in April when we kick this off, but I'm so excited because these soap sacks are so fast to make, and they just use up a lot of that Lily Sugar and Cream yarn that we have around our home that we bought because it was cheap and we don't know what to do with it. At least that's me. Is anybody else in the same boat where you have just this mound of Lily Sugar and Cream or Peaches and Cream or 100% cotton yarn that you bought and you just don't know what to do with it? This is it. This is going to be how you can wipe out that whole stash, something for you to do, and it's a much needed cause. The soap sacks, everyone I've talked to, so I've talked to two different people. One who is local to me, and she makes soap sacks, and she donates 50 a week or 50 every 2 weeks to, I think she has 3 different places that she donates to, and every time she donates, they're in need. They're like, yes, please, 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 please. And then I think I talked to Stacy, the founder of Soap Sack Foundation, and she said she donates 150 of these every week, and they're constantly in need. So I'm like, Wow, and that's just in these 2 locations. We're talking about everywhere in the country, everywhere in the world. I'm sure that these soap sacks would be appreciated everywhere in the world. And just make them, clean them out, super fast, super easy project, quick win, which I love because it makes me feel like, yes, I accomplished something, on to the next. And then being able to help people that really, really need it, so special, so special. So I'm going to be recording this tutorial today. Actually, as soon as I get off of this video, I'm going to shoot the B-roll videos real quick so I have something to insert into the video to help you guys with visual aids. And then after that, I'm gonna get straight to recording this soap sack tutorial. It is the ribbed soap sack tutorial. I have somebody who's been asking me multiple times if I could make this pattern, and I'm like, yes, I can finally get to it. I finally have so much purpose and point and reason to get to this pattern, so it's coming. And that's what I'm recording today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching all of my updates and everything that I have to share. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys very, very soon with so much content on my main channel, here on my vlog channel, in my crochet club membership group, on my website. I'm everywhere now. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.